G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're all having a fantastic evening. Tonight this video is going to be my contest entry into the Good, Bad, Unusual contest. Now if you haven't subscribed and you're not aware of these guys, please check them out. I'll leave a link in the description below. They're a couple, they're a married couple, and they do their videos together. So that's something unique, and they really have a lot of value in their videos, so it's definitely worth checking out. So please do so if you haven't already. So what they wanted in this contest, there were two contests. One contest that Tyler was running and another contest that Sarah was running. So we had a choice of entering either one, or we could enter both of them. So I've decided to enter both of them, although there are more movies for my entry into Sarah's contest, but I do have two movies for Tyler. So the first one, I'll start with Tyler, and what he wanted was us to show off our black and white movies. Now they didn't have to be old movies, just movies that are chosen in black and white. And the two that I'm going to choose are French films. I don't have many really old films, so the two I've chosen are French and they're modern day films, but they're just chosen to do it in black and white, and it adds more quality to them. So the first one is the French thriller 13 Zametti. Very tense, and I felt that the black and white atmosphere really added to it because it was a very dreary sort of mood to the whole film. Very tense and nerve-wracking. And I thought that the black and white atmosphere and the colour really did match it, and it pretty much it drew in the mood even more, just the fact that it was so bleak. So the black and white really worked with this one. I think the first black and white film that I saw that was modern was Schindler's List, and I really liked the look of that. And so, you know, I'm really starting to get into the black and white sort of stuff. So this one is a really good one, and if you haven't checked this one out, Tyler, I would definitely check it out. Very good. And then we've got a French classic, and this is Vincent Cassel's first role that he gained a lot of recognition for, and that is Lahain. Very subtle in its approach, but it's a very realistic portrayal of city life in Paris. I'm not exactly sure how long ago it was, 1990 maybe, and just a very realistic portrayal of children in slums. Now when I say children, or young adults, late teenagers, or that sort of area, that sort of age group. So a very good film. There's a thread of violence that exists in the whole film, and once again, like 13 Zametti, the mood is very bleak, and the black and white really helped get that mood across. So definitely two films that you have to check out if you haven't done so already. This one is a classic, so chances are you've probably already seen it, but as far as 13 Zametti goes, not many people have talked about that. I know there's been an American remake, but if you haven't seen that one, then I'd definitely check that one out also. So that's my entry for Tyler's half of the contest. I hope that was good enough, and it gets me some votes in the hat. Now we go to Sarah's side of the contest. Now she wanted us to show off some very surreal films, some artistic sort of value to them. So I have more films than I did with Tyler's contest, but I will get straight into these. I actually like the surreal kind of feel, so I have more in my collection. So the first one is a Norwegian horror film called Hidden. That's the Norwegian title is called Skult. I can't pronounce it, but the English title is Hidden. And it's just a very nightmarish feel to it, just surreal. It's like you're in a dream. And it captured the level of insanity perfectly, in my opinion. Norwegian horror seemed to really nail psychological horror, and this one was very good. The second one is my favourite Norwegian surreal kind of horror film, and that is Next Door. This pays direct homage to Roman Polanski and David Lynch, so Sarah, if you like those kind of films, you will like this one. The first Norwegian film in a very long time that got an 18 classification. Really disturbing, really just, it's like a nightmare. The guy's living a nightmare, and it's just really disturbing. And it's done in a very cool sort of way, a very artsy sort of feel to it. So definitely highly recommend that one. Now we go to the French stuff. Now this one's Eden Log. Not much dialogue at all, but the visuals do the talking, and it's not a black and white movie, but the atmosphere is very black and white because most of the film takes part in a cave. So while it's not a black and white film, it pretty much is, if you know what I mean. Very artistic, hardly any dialogue as I said, and it's just very visual, and the lighting is perfect. And yeah, it pretty much tells a story without even having to speak. So another very good French horror film. These aren't so much horror, but very visual and surreal. And if you're talking about surreal and French cinema, you can't go past Jean-Pierre Jeunet. First one's Delicatessen, an apocalyptic kind of world in France. Captured the mood perfectly. One of the best surreal kind of movies you can find. His other film, The City of Lost Children, about a mad scientist who is stealing dreams from these little children. So just a very dreamlike kind of atmosphere and a very dreamlike world. And as far as surreal films go, as I said, this director can't be beaten. And then we've got Amelie, which is a romance comedy, but once again set in a fantasy kind of world. Very, very bright colours. The characters are larger than life. They've got these attributes that make them very, very unique. And it's, it's unlike any other romance sort of comedy that you've ever seen, because Jean-Pierre Jeunet, he just makes a different sort of world inside his mind. He's a fantastic director, and he's got wonderful vision. So, yeah, that's another one. Alright, so that's my entry for both of these competitions. I hope you all enjoyed it. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to these awesome YouTubers, please do so. I will leave a link in the description below. So, until next time, take care of yourselves and have an awesome day.